friends, welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach who has lost and maintained a 140-pound weight loss. And today we're talking about Weight Watchers. We're gonna deep dive into the changes that have come to the Weight Watchers app. I'm gonna let you know my personal opinion. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be doing moving forward when it comes to Weight Watchers. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, your bell notification is turned on because I upload 5 videos every single week. Down in the description box, I will have nutrition coaching. Like I said, I am a weight loss and nutrition coach. I have been a weight loss and nutrition coach for 3 years and have successfully lost and maintained a 140-pound weight loss. As part of my services, I offer personalized macros and calories. That is what I followed to lose 140 pounds and continue to maintain that weight loss. I also offer one-on-one coaching for questions, accountability, support. I am always here to help you. I'll also have links and discounts to my favorite things and my free, amazing, supportive Facebook group. Come join us. We would love to have you. So let's dive into the new Weight Watchers program. So on Tuesday, December 10th, Weight Watchers rolled into their new program, their new changes, and there are quite a few changes that have happened with Weight Watchers. I want to go over those changes with you. I want to share my opinion on those changes, and I want to let you know what my channel is going to look like in the future based on those changes. So first, let's talk about 0-point foods. So we know that Weight Watchers had hundreds of 0-point foods prior to this change. Well, now they've added additional 0-point foods. Now they have 350 options of foods that are 0 points. And there's some pretty major changes when it comes to 0-point proteins and 0-point starches. Now, this is the regular Weight Watchers program. They do offer a diabetic program. Your 0-point foods are going to be different than the 0-point foods that I'm talking about, just like they were before the changes. So corn and popcorn is still going to be 0 points. Eggs are still 0 points. Fish and shellfish, fruit, beans, peas, lentils, chicken and turkey, tofu and tempeh, vegetables, yogurt, and cottage cheese. Now, what has changed is oats are now 0 points. They used to be 0 points. They took that away. They brought it back. So rolled oats, quick cook oats, steel cut oats, all oats are 0 point. Also potatoes. Now, potatoes used to be 0 points. They became pointed again. Now, once again, they are 0 points. So this is all varieties of potatoes. All are now 0 points. But what I think is the best change in the 0-point foods is the lean protein. So before, it was a specific cut of ground turkey or chicken was 0 points. So ground turkey had to be 99% lean. Ground chicken had to be 98% lean. And no ground beef, red meat was 0 points. Now, all lean meats are 0 points. So this includes 90%, 93%, 96%, and 99%. So 93% ground turkey is now 0 points. 97, 96% ground chicken, 0 points. All cuts of steak are also 0 points. So basically any lean cut of protein is now 0 points. This also includes chicken thighs. The macros between thighs and breasts are basically the same. The only difference is thighs have a little bit more fat, but thighs just have so much better flavor, and really that fat is going to keep you a little bit more satisfied. So I'm glad that they've made thighs 0 points. So this change, as far as the lean meats go, I think is a really smart move for Weight Watchers. And with adding all these additional 0-point foods, it looks like your daily points are not changing. So your points that you're allowed, dailies and weeklies, will be remaining the same. You just have options for some additional 0-point foods. Now, my take on 0-point foods has always been my take on 0-point foods, and that is that there are no free foods out there. All foods have calories, even celery. Celery even has calories. So my take on 0-point foods is do your best to stick to a serving, especially of those 0-point foods that are a little bit more calorically dense. Those starchy vegetables like corn and peas, beans and legumes, some of these higher calorie meats, especially ground beef and steak and things that are now 0 points, they're a little bit more calorically dense. So my recommendation, if you are going to eat 0-point foods, especially those mentioned, I would try to stick to a serving. I would say that you can eat a little bit more than a serving, especially vegetables. If a serving of broccoli is half of a cup, feel free to eat a cup and a half. These are low density, high volume foods. So they're going to be very low calorie, but keep you full. So lean on those 0 point foods and try to stick to a serving of those a little bit more calorically dense ones. Let me go ahead and show you how to get to the new 0 point food list in the Weight Watchers app. So if you do select the diabetic plan, like I said, your 0 point food list is going to be a little bit different, but it's really simple to get to this food list. You're going to click on your profile and then click on My 0 Point Food List, and you're gonna see everything that is 0 points for you. And my other recommendation with 0 point foods, because they still have calories, is to build your meals around those 0 point foods. So maybe choose a lean protein that's 0 points and then add some pointed options to that. Maybe you add a side of bread or some pasta or some butter or nut butter to those 0 point foods. I think the cycle we can get into that's really number one, unhealthy for our relationship with food, but also going to potentially take you out of a calorie deficit is when we eat 0 point foods all day long. That's all we eat. All of our meals, all of our snacks are 0 point foods, so we can have a piece of cheesecake at the end of the night. All of those 0 point foods that you ate all day still have calories. And then you add that slice of cheesecake, and like I said, you could potentially go out of a calorie deficit, which means you're not going to lose weight, and potentially even into a surplus, which means you're going to gain weight. That is my big issue with 0 point foods in general, is all food has calories. So how do you say that there's free foods or 0 point foods? Especially if you have an addiction to foods, you can easily overeat these or fall into the trap of eating 0 point foods all day just to eat pizza, cheesecake, chips, cookies at the end of the day. And again, all of those foods have calories. So that's a little bit of a slippery slope, especially for those of us with an addiction to food. The other big change that Weight Watchers has made is it's now tracking macros. So on your screen, you're going to see macros. Now you're not going to see calories. So Weight Watchers is not going to give you your total calories for the day, but it is going to give you how much protein, carbs, fats, fiber, and sodium you've consumed throughout the day based on the foods that you've tracked. Now, here's the big issue with macros. If you are someone like myself who does not track 0 point foods, your macros are not going to be accurate. In order for those macros to be accurate, you have to track everything that you're eating, including 0 point foods. The other issue is yes, they're going to give you macros, which I think is great. I think that's a really smart move on their part, especially because most people that I have worked with that have solely followed Weight Watchers eat very, very little protein because they're so focused on low point foods that they're not getting in enough protein every single day. So I appreciate especially the protein aspect of the macros. But the issue is at the end of the day, when you look at your macros, how do you know that those are the macros that you should be eating to reach your goals? That's why I really recommend having your personalized macros and calories done. And speaking of calories, that is the biggest issue I have with this change, which makes it really irrelevant to me, is they don't give you your calories. And in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. The macros really don't matter for weight loss. I mean, the reality is you could eat Twinkies all day long, and as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. Are you going to feel good? No. Is it a good decision health-wise? No. Are you going to get any nutrients? No. But you're still going to lose weight because you are in a calorie deficit. So by not giving us calories, we don't know that we're in a deficit. We don't know if we're in a severe deficit, which is very common following the Weight Watchers program. We don't know if we're eating our maintenance calories. And again, we don't even know what our calories are supposed to be every day because Weight Watchers doesn't track them or give those to you. Again, that is the service that I provide. Please have that done. Even if you're not interested in knowing how many calories you're eating, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to know, especially if you're trying to reach a weight loss goal. Maybe you don't care about the macros so much. It is still important for you to have them done, to know, to have the knowledge in the bank. What are you supposed to eat for your body every day for macros and calories? And at least as you track your food in the Weight Watchers app, you can take those macros that I gave you, make sure those totals equal what I gave you by the end of the day. So although I appreciate them adding macros, the fact that there is no calories, which I understand why they didn't do that, we'll talk about that in a second, makes this change, like I said, just a little bit irrelevant to me because calories are very, very important for weight loss. And the reason they didn't include the calories is because if they did that, they would be no different than free calorie tracking apps like MyFitnessPal and Lose It. So you wouldn't pay to go to Weight Watchers if you could use a free calorie tracking app. So by them not giving you the calories, it differentiates Weight Watchers from those calorie counting apps, but not necessarily in a good way. And you have to remember, Weight Watchers is a business. They are here to make money. And if they gave you calories, you would stop being a Weight Watchers member. They would stop making money. So there's always strategic moves when it comes to companies and businesses that are in the market to make money. So that I feel is a disservice, but I also understand from a business perspective why they didn't include calories. But from a weight loss perspective, it still makes the app not comprehensive. You still have the option to take GLP-1 medications through Weight Watchers. It's under the clinic tab on the app. Now, a couple of other changes that have happened, which I think are good changes, is you now have the option to take a picture of your food and you will get a guesstimate of the points. Now, is it going to be accurate every time? Probably not. But the good thing about this is if you're out with friends or family, or you're in a position maybe where you don't want to be tracking your food on your phone, you can take a picture of it and track it later. And with that, you'll be able to make any modifications to the information if it's not correct. So if you take a picture of your meal at a restaurant and you go to track it later and it's not right, you can change it to make it correct in the Weight Watchers app. So I do like that feature. It's actually a feature that calorie tracking apps have had for a very long time. MyFitnessPal for years has had the option to take a picture of your food and track it based on the picture. And like I said, do we know if this is going to be 100% accurate? No, and my guess is it's probably not going to be 100%, but it's definitely a tool. And really, tracking your food is the key. Consistently tracking your food is the key to success. So as long as you're tracking something, it's better than nothing. And the other change that I think is great is you're now able to import recipes online directly into the app. So my website does not work to import the recipes, but I did try some popular websites like Skinny Taste, and if you copy the URL and you put it into the app, it will import the recipe for you. It's very, very simple to do. I'll go ahead and pop up here on the screen how you import a recipe. Just be mindful that not all recipes will be able to be imported, but you can still build recipes manually in the app. And that's what I always have done, is built them manually. So you do have the option to try to enter the URL for popular websites or build them manually. I think that's a nice feature. Again, it just makes tracking a little bit easier, and the easier it is, the more likely we are to do it consistently. One other thing is all of these changes are going to be coming to Canada as well. So they're rolling out all of these app changes and all of these 0-point foods, macros, etc. into Canada. So if you are one of my Canadian friends, stay tuned. It is coming your way very shortly. So I think some of these changes are really good. I very much appreciate the macros, but again, they're not going to be accurate unless you're tracking your 0-point foods. And I can tell you, most people I know on Weight Watchers do not track 0-point foods. So if that's the case, they're not going to be accurate for you. So again, it's not really a tool that you'll be able to utilize. I also appreciate the addition of those lean meats to the 0-point foods list. It just makes me nervous, as it's always made me nervous with 0-point foods, of overeating those or having it become an unhealthy relationship with food so that you can splurge on pointed foods later. Listen, I'm talking to the choir. I used to do that when I strictly followed Weight Watchers. So I know someone who's addicted to food and who's been obese most of her life, I used to do that exact same thing. That's why I can say that and speak from experience. You just have to be mindful of portion sizes with some of those 0-point foods. And remember, all of those foods still have calories, and the only way to lose weight is to be in a caloric deficit. So what does this mean for me? Am I going to go back on Weight Watchers? Am I going to just continue to track my points once or twice a week? No, I will not be going back solely on Weight Watchers. Unfortunately, it is not sustainable for me. Their maintenance program has me eating in a pretty severe caloric deficit when I need to be eating at maintenance calories. And for reference, Weight Watchers 28 points that I'm allowed on maintenance is about 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day, maybe about 1,800 now that there's additional 0-point food options, but I need to be eating well over 2,000 calories a day with as active as I am to maintain my weight and keep my metabolism functioning at its peak. I've worked really, really, really hard to lose weight and fix my metabolism, and following Weight Watchers specifically would just reverse everything that I've done for the last couple of years. I would continue to cause damage to my metabolism. It'll slow down. It'd be unlikely that I would be able to maintain my weight loss. I may even see the scale go up a little bit. It's just not a risk that I'm willing to take. I know for me, macros and calories is what I've lost most of my weight on, 90 pounds in 1 year. It's been sustainable for me. It allows me to live my life. So I will not be transitioning solely into Weight Watchers. I will still be tracking my Weight Watcher points once or twice a week. I share my points in Wednesday's What I Eat in a Day video, so you can compare how many points I'm eating versus how many calories that I'm eating. And one thing I do want to do though, for science, is I think I'm going to film a What I Eat in a Week following the new Weight Watchers program. So I'm going to import recipes. I'm going to take pictures of my food. I'm going to track in the Weight Watchers app. I'm going to watch my macros and see exactly what the Weight Watchers app is giving me macro-wise. I personally do not track my sodium, so that'll be a takeaway that I'll get. My what I eat in a week on the new Weight Watchers plan, I'll be able to see how much sodium I'm consuming since I've never tracked that previously. I just think it's going to be a fun experiment to test out all of these new features, all of these new 0 point foods, and see really what my thoughts are after doing it for a solid week. Right now, I'm just giving you my first impression thoughts, my thoughts as a weight loss and nutrition coach, my thoughts as someone who has lost 140 pounds, primarily tracking macros and calories, but I want to put it to the test. And I want to see if number one, is this new program a little bit more sustainable? Number two, am I going to feel more full and satisfied? And number three, am I going to have diversity, more diversity in the foods that I can eat since we have more 0 point foods? Or am I going to get into that same spiral of 0 point foods all day just to eat the heavy pointed food at the end of the day? I'm very curious to see what happens over the course of a week. I'm planning on filming this in January. It'll be out in January or February, but I think this is going to be a really valuable tool for you and a really valuable tool for me. Before I give a definitive answer on the changes for Weight Watchers, I want to test it out for myself. Let me know down below, what do you think of these changes? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Please be kind in the comments. We can all agree to disagree, but let me know your thoughts on these changes. Stay tuned for the what I eat in a week following the new Weight Watchers plan. Again, I continue to share points in my grocery haul and my what I eat in a day. I will continue to do that. That will not be changing on my channel. So again, let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, get your macros and calories done. Do that little bit of an investment in yourself so that you can make sure that you're eating enough on Weight Watchers, that you're not overeating on Weight Watchers, and you really have the knowledge in the bank to be the most successful in your weight loss journey. I promise it is game changing just to have the information. So I will link macros and calories and my nutrition coaching website at the top of the description box. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Happy Sunday. I'll see you in tomorrow's meal prep. Bye.
Jingle bells ringing in